All right, guys. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I want to make sure of that before I go too far. So people hop online, say hello. Let me know that you can hear me. All right, should be live. All right. The biggest thing that I really want to discuss today, and I want to help people. So when you see this, understand we're going to talk today about, and any questions you guys have asked, but I'm really going to get into a deep dive a little bit more about the lead leg, middle of the body, and the trail leg. But I think people are missing the point that the club itself still needs to swing, and the grip end still needs to move, and the club still needs to accelerate. So what do I mean by that? So when I stand to the side like this, and this is a checklist that I do for chip shots or anything, if your left hand can move freely and the club and the shaft is on your toe line, then you are in the correct spot to now let the club swing up and be pointed at your golf ball and your toe line. And I saw this and I thought it was a great way of getting the grip. Is you can get the golf club where it's facing straight up, and then put your hand on it like so. And when this pad here has to be on top, not here because it's in the palm, but there, okay? And then just bring it down and then put it in front. It has to be there. This has to be on your toe line because this is the beginning of a circle. See what I'm doing here? See, if all I did is stand straight up and down, but I bent my spine over, now that toe of the club is on my toe, that toe of the club is on my toe line, the shaft's on my toe line, okay? So that's what I want to see. So I want to make sure here that everybody can see. We should be good. Lighting's on. Hopefully people are asking questions. Ask questions, say hello. Make sure this thing is working and it's live before I go too deep into this. But the number one thing that I continue to see, and this is going to be real key for you guys to see, that I see tension in the arms like this. So whether or not, hello David. So whether or not you are lead leg, middle, or trail. If I take this golf club, now watch, this is a lead leg, and I'm going to do it a couple different ways. So you're going to see that I'm going to put a lot of weight in my left, and I'm going to swing back, and you'll see that the club is on my toe line. Now this is a centrifugal force weight of the club swinging, and you can clearly see that that golf club is swinging freely, and now the weight's in the middle of my body, on my right leg, here, and my body's counterbalancing. And if you see that, again, it's still there. That still has to happen no matter which leg's dominant, okay? Now the trail leg is once the foot rolls and the club swings away, okay? So you think that it's gonna look a little different, right? No, guess where that is? On my toe line. So the difference of that is the release points of this golf club swinging. So if I put myself on a lead leg motion here, and I wind my hand up, I am still in a circle, but my weight is on my left leg. So now I just can throw my arm, which puts me, I'll show you here, you can clearly see this is a circle, and the shaft is straight up and down on the line like it's supposed to be. It's the same thing if I was doing a compound pivot, my weight in my foot rolls, but the golf club still swings. Now that looks totally different, right? But the club is still swinging. The weight is just being supported now on the right leg, where on a lead leg throw, it's still swinging, but now it's supported on the left leg. So to hit the golf ball here, you don't use your hands and arms, you just let the right foot roll and the club swings down. But again, it has to be on your toe line here These are all checkpoints, in my opinion, that you don't have to really rethink anything because the club face will square up and it'll be on your toe line here. I highly recommend a footboard, okay? I think that this will be really, really critical for a lot of people to do. See, I have this is a GRF board. It cost me like $500 in the whole system, and it was like 5 years ago. So you can get one from Y-Golf or a Sheftick board, or it doesn't matter, but you can see the pressure, okay? So you can clearly see my weight rocking, and you can hear it on the hardwood floor, okay? So why is that? The number one thing that I see, people, incorrect grip, so the golf club doesn't swing and have their hand hinge here, okay, no matter which method you use, and twist in the body. So I'm going to show you what it looks like with or without a golf club, okay? So if I twist this pelvis back, you'll see this clearly. Watch. Where does my weight go? It's over here on my left leg. Right leg straightens. I'm going to try to go to my right leg, but I'm going to twist my pelvis. You'll see I go back left. So everybody who's been told to turn first is going to have a reverse weight shift. If I lift my arms straight up, now I'm not moving the board, okay? I'm over here, I'm in the middle of the right. I'm just going to lift my arms straight up, like a lot of you guys like to do, because you think the arm swing. See, now my weight's left, right? If I turn the body first, golf club goes behind me here. So if I'm doing a compound pivot, I want this board, and I want to roll my left ankle, and I want 100% of my weight, and I want the board down. If the board is down, my right leg is straight here, and my weight is all on my right leg. So then, when I shift over, 100% of my weight is going to be on my left. And you can see that advanced my arm, okay? Now, lead leg, little more complicated. It's like throwing a ball. So as soon as my weight goes right, it goes back left. So listen to the clicks, and you'll hear it. So I'm going to set my weight on my left. And you can hear it. How much quicker is that? Left, left, right, left. See? So all my weight is left to now make that. So this is the easy way to practice getting that golf club swinging in tune with what your feet and pressure do. So if you were in the middle, then the weight would just easily go right, come back left, come back right, and go back left. When you're a compound pivot, you'll see 100% of my weight will be over here, 100% of my weight is here, and then the club swings through. I think a footboard is really good, but a lot of people only use it and only know one thing. They only know lead leg, where as you're swinging back, you slam the board down and the board slams you back, right? And so that's like a throw, and that's a lead leg. Okay, so hope that helps a little bit more in understanding that still the golf club has to swing no matter what, with the freedom of the wrist that I've talked about in 180 videos about how the hands and the arms work. So let's see who's got questions. Maybe nobody. I've covered a lot, and I've been super busy. Very, very grateful for the whole thing, for the tons and tons of golf lessons, the Zoom lessons, the membership site, all of that kind of stuff. So you guys can just ask away any questions that you have. It could be a little bit of a different time frame. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Many people watching. Yep. Yeah, so just ask any questions, any confusion you have. And I also think this is what a lot of people should work on in chipping and pitching. Big difference in this, because once you swing this golf club back, that hand now will be over top of the shoulder. So, and you can clearly see. So, got a new little setup. I put a little wall up and a little like type of foam balls, and you can kind of see on my golf club. Let me kind of put it back in frame here so you guys can see. Okay, so as I'm swinging, you can see how my golf club freely is swinging to and fro from here, and you'll see how the golf club swinging. And that's more of a compound pivot movement that I just did, where my weight goes from right back to left or so. And again, you could also throw where your weight is, set up more left. Oh, one other little thing, some people have missed a little bit of misinformation on a couple things. One is when you put the golf club's in the middle of the body. If you preload your weight left, the ball position now is going to be in the middle of the navel that is on the left-hand side. So it's not really in the middle of your body. It's more left. And if you see Tiger Woods or so, you'll see he's lead leg and his weight is here and his knee is here. So from there, now you can wind up, and that's why the ball position looks a little more forward, but it matches with the pelvis and the body being forward. So when you're a lead leg player, your ball position is going to be a little bit more forward as you're winding that hand up to then throw. So, and this is a real big one, and I really don't know how to say it, and maybe somebody in the comment can figure it out, other than being bent leg or straight leg. If you do a compound pivot, you are rolling your foot, and your weight is going to be on the board, and I got 100% of my weight, so I shift my pelvis, and then the body turns. So the leg has to be straight to hold the weight to do that while the golf club is swinging, okay? In the 8-step swing / Harvey Phoenix / those kinds of movements, throwing a medicine ball, which I played very well with that too, but the leg stays bent because when you do that, the weight is in a trail leg movement, and the hands and the arms and the chest move quietly to the side, and so does your spine. So the heel comes up, and you can clearly see that my leg is bent here. So now I have to recenter. So it's still a trail leg movement, but it's not as trail leg movement like a compound pivot. So I think people get confused sometimes when they're trying to move their body and they're letting their pelvis go up. And if you're doing a motion to the side and then let your pelvis go up, I mean, that's no bueno. So you can't mix this, right? So compound pivot, the head stays right on center and the weight goes to the right leg. And then on a medicine ball throw, your torso goes more to the side, your arms are further away, your head moves a little bit off the ball, and then you recenter, okay? So those are two trail leg movements, but they're two totally different ones, and I really didn't distinguish that in my video playlist. Let's see what we got. Camera views backwards. Is my camera view still backwards, guys? Is my camera view backwards? I think you're just, if I flip it around, I think that just goes, yeah, that just shows the other side. Okay. What is the best way to stop cupping the wrist at the top of the backswing? All right. So, couple things. One is the grip is probably a little too strong and you're already cupped. If you're not, then what happens is this lead arm is locked straight. See how really straight this is? So when it's straight, my wrist really cups, right? So this elbow has to bend to keep this hand in this position. If I lock this elbow arm joint, it really cups. It's almost painful for me, right? So when I bend the elbow a little bit, this softens this. So the left arm being straight is a death move because people lock the joint and then they cup the wrist like so. The other part of that too is then that the left hand is not making, and I talked about this in the intro, the left hand, if you put your golf club up here in front of you and you swing it like so, that golf club is now rotating in a circle. So you can see how that's a pendulum here, see? So that people think that's a flip and it's not. That's how the club advances, all right? So that's how the left hand works. So it's a quarter roll where the golf club is on your toe line. And if you do that, see, I can't, my hand's already set. So once this golf club is swinging and the toe of the club and the butt of the club points at the ball right here, see my wrist is neutral right here. Now this might look like it's cupped to some people because some people have that in their mind that this is flat or straight. This is bowed. That's cupped. And this is straight. Okay? So you got to hit the quarter roll position right here. And I put that in my machine-like video, machine-like, hand-like action. That'll help. Using the lead side swing and hitting a lot of low drivers. Okay, so great question. So usually what most people do is when they overdo the low part, so it's just this little, this is where it gets interesting, okay? So you put a little bit of weight left and the ball position is gonna be a little more forward, see? See where my navel is? My navel is going to be a little more forward. So the ball position and the club can't be in the middle of the body. It's going to be in the middle where the navel sets. So when you push your knees forward, you're pushing your pelvis forward. So the ball is already going to be a little more forward, one. Two is as soon as you push it back this way, you've got to make still sure that you push that, even though you have your weight left, you still have to push a little more left for it to rebound back right to go back left. Then it's your arm. If my arm throws low like this, I'm going to hit low balls. Okay, so once I'm here, I'm forward, the ball's a little more forward, and I shift. Now I can throw my arm, and now my leg can go vertical. See how my left knee straightens? Well, when I do that, now I'm not going to hit it low anymore. Okay, if I keep my left leg bent, I'm going to throw it low. So move the ball up to go level with your belly button here. Make sure you're still pushing the ground a little bit left before, so it immediately pushes you back right to go back left. And make sure at the top of the golf swing, the knee is over the top of the foot, and that's how it goes straight while you're throwing your arm. Hey Wes, the best tip to get better as a beginner is the 100% get the correct hand placement on it. I have tons of videos where if you look at my playlist where it says hand action, and it could be as simple for you as just, if you literally have the correct grip, with most hand action is accomplished just by cocking it and putting it over your shoulder. That is what most of the hands will do in the golf swing, like so, and you can see that will put me in the correct top of the swing position, and that will also put me in the correct follow through. So then just feeling the weight of the club swinging, mimicking this. The last thing that I would tell anyone to do that's a beginner is to focus on keeping the left arm straight or doing anything trying to turn the body. The body is a byproduct of pressure from the ground and the weight of the club swinging. So once you get this swinging, you're going to be well on your way. And I would practice standing on your left leg only and swinging. And you can swing in balance, or right leg, or with feet together. And you just kind of see where your balance goes, and then you do the playlist on which leg works. Thank you, Tony. Oh, it's making me, yeah, shoot, I don't know how to, man, it's making me a lefty. I'm sorry, guys. Well, that sucks. All right, so when you watch this video, put it next to a mirror. I don't know how to change it. I'm not great at this. That's why, oh, and for you guys, it's going to be real fun. And thank you for the subscribing, and thank you for coming into this, because it's taken me a little bit, or taken my team a little bit longer. We put together a couple of new videos with camera angles and the whole, watching hit shots and doing live lessons, and my page is going to be much higher quality. I just put out a bunch of videos while I'm working at the golf course, and I'm leaving the golf course at the end of this year, and I'm going to be a full-time YouTuber. So you'll see me play a lot of golf, and I'll be going around around the country or world, playing golf courses, videoing it and stuff like that. So it's going to be big time fun. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get that first video out. It's going to be a premiere. We're hoping it comes out by the end of this week. All right. Hello, hello. How do I stop hitting fat irons? Oh, that's awesome. So you hit it fat only by a couple of ways. So I'm gonna get back on the board here, okay? So again, I feel every single person should practice on some kind of foot pressure board, because you'll see where you're, not because I'm telling you to use the ground and put pressure on it, but to not just find out which one dominant you are, but you'll know why you hit it fat. See, so if I turn my body, my weight is on my left leg at the top of my swing and my golf club is behind me. So what's going to happen is the ground's going to push me the other way. I'm going to release the angle. My weight's going to go back to my right foot, and I'm going to hit it fat. The number one answer, easy answer, if you hit anybody who hits it fat, is that their weight is not on their left side. They've released the golf club. So if you're on your left side, it's real hard to get your weight left and dump the angle, right? Most people dump the angle by having weight on their right foot. And what I mean by dump the angle is as you're swinging the golf club and the arm comes back down to the radius and releases. So practice on your left foot only, ball position here, swing, and you'll hit the ball crisp right off your left toe, or you do the right foot. Because if you shift your weight or lift your arms or try to keep your head still and your arms straight, you'll see that the weight is left, and as you come back down, your weight's right. So there's a fat shot. You guys can see that, I hope. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you understood that answer. Hey John, how do you stop chicken winging on the backswing? Okay, so I would just make sure the grip is correct. Where the hands can hinge correctly, it's going to be in the second joint of the pointer finger, laying across the first joint of the pinky. And when you do that, then you curl the thumb on the side. So when you put that, the weight's over here at the top. The right hand is all the second foul link, which is this joint right here. You can see that. So if you do that, then you swing the club back, point the butt of the club at the ball. When you do that, you will not be chicken winging on your backswing. That will put you on plane. Also, anytime you want to check if you're correct, sorry, I kind of froze there for a second. Oh, you're new to golf. What is a fat hit? Okay, so sorry. A fat hit's hitting the big ball before the small ball in a way, right? We're talking about the earth. So you're basically releasing this angle early. Your weight is more going to be on your back leg, and you're going to hit the ground before the ball. And that's what a fat shot is, okay? So, or heavy, a lot of turf before the ball. That's what that reference means. You're welcome, Zach. I appreciate that. Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry that you do that all the time. So all I would have you do, a lot of times we get people just to stand on their left leg only, put the ball opposite your toe, make sure you have left leg only, put the ball opposite your toe, make sure you have that correct grip where you feel the weight of the club swinging. And as you do that, you're just gonna click the ground where the ball's opposite your big toe. Don't have any weight shift at the beginning, just learn what it feels like to come back into impact where the shaft is forward slightly, but releasing. Not this. So many people get this out of their mind. They think that the shaft leans forward at impact and then just keeps going. That's how the club decelerates. If you do this, the shaft's only gonna accelerate with the arm, and you're gonna have a tendency to hit it like pushes and really thin and just have no distance whatsoever. So this golf club is releasing and then going on through. So when I'm here and you stand on your left leg, the arm and the shaft come in line, and then it goes on through. Okay, same thing. If you say it has to be the grip, and it's okay to be. He said he has a tendency to shank the ball. Okay, So, and then what that shows is if you chicken wing, all right. So for Zach, who's new, chicken wing is the elbow going kind of out this way or coming through impact this way. So kind of look like a chicken wing, right? So when the hand hinges correctly and the butt of the club points at the ball, it'll point at the ball on the other side too. And you see how the elbows can stay nice and soft, and the golf club can really swing. You can see this is really not a lot of effort that I'm doing, and the golf club swings freely from there. So anybody who has a problem usually with that doesn't really understand that the arm really just doesn't move too much off the chest. I have to be careful when I say that because the arm is just from this part right here to your navicular bone. And so when I swing, look at my hand swinging freely, and my arm is hardly moved. So I mean, that doesn't take that much to get the golf club all the way back to the top. And when you chicken wing, I think most people have been told to keep the left arm straight. And when you keep the left arm straight for a long time, the right arm stays straight, the elbow folds up, the golf club goes behind you like so, and there you go. You can see the shank, which is, the shank is where the golf club hits the hosel and goes straight sideways into your neighbor. I'm not psychic, Zach. I've just been doing this for 30 plus years, so this is just like walking, breathing, talking, not a big deal. Let's see. My ball has a left to right. Oh, by the way, and again, I'm sorry. You guys just have to reverse this. Apparently, I'm swinging left-handed. I don't know how to change it, even though I got a fancy iPhone and all that. Let's see. My ball has a left to right trajectory now. What would that be? That's a fade, okay, if you're a right-handed golfer, which also means that the path of the club is going more left, like so. And hello, Ashton. I work at Country Hills Golf Course. Yes, I do until the end of the year, and at the end of the year, I'll be doing YouTube full-time. It's been a wonderful experience at Country Hills. They've been great to me. They've allowed my channel to grow, and I'm eternally grateful to the head pro, Brad Shirley, for that. Tommy Fleetwood says he pulls his left hip straight back to get his punch shot. Is that swing club it? No, it's really, it's not. It's kind of the feel of that. So Tommy Fleetwood in himself he is moving the chest and the triangle of his arms back and keeps his leg flexed. So his arms and triangle is more of his arms kind of stay connected like this. So then he pushes his weight down with the left leg recentering and then rotates his chest. So his hands and arms are a little more out in front like so, and then he kind of comes through. So his is the arms and chest like throwing a ball, not a ball, but like a medicine ball or the bucket of water. Can you kind of see that motion in the golf swing that he does? So he's more rotary this way, okay? So that right leg stays flexed like so, and here, and then here, and then here. It's a very connected way to play golf, they call it that. Jimmy Ballard did that, Jim McLean did that, Harvey Penick did that. I can't say that that's not efficient or right. It's not as fast as centrifugal force, right? But there are a lot of players that cannot do this. Like, I give them $1 million if I said, I need you to just swing the weight of the club over your shoulder and over your shoulder with no effort. And I promise you, you'd see all kinds of weird angles. So those are the people that I've learned that, hey, they have to have structure. They've got to feel the golf club and the body moving as one. That's a mental thing. Couldn't tell you. But that's how Tommy Fleetwood swings it. So when he says he hits a punch shot like that, his chest is moving more, his shaft's a little more forward. So he's going to have a little more of what I call control that way, but never really releasing the club. You're welcome, John. No, Ricardo, I am not a PGA affiliate because when I was going to get my PGA affiliate, I was in about a year or so at Richland Country Club, and I decided to go be a cruise ship golf pro for 10 years, so I did that. Am I qualified? Yeah, overqualified. I've studied every single golf pro teacher, kinesiology, and physics. So therefore, the PGA, I have nothing against them whatsoever. The PGA pro that gave me the gig at Country Hills, Brad Shirley's known me for a long time. And so that's why I'm eternally grateful for being there. So, you know, just like the #1 teacher in the world for a long time was Butch Harmon, is not a Class A PGA golf professional. All his brothers were. So it doesn't mean that they're not good teachers. It doesn't mean that I'm not a good teacher. It just means I'm not affiliated with the PGA. Let's see. Recently, I've been pulling my drives a lot. I was always a person who hit more of a fade. And now this year, my miss is almost always a pull. Okay? So a pull and a fade is the same path that goes to the left. Just one would be that on a pull, the face is more closed, and on a fade, it's now somehow opened up a little bit. What is the best driver swing to eliminate the, wait a minute, you hit more of a fade, and now this year my miss is almost always a pull. Yeah. So it's still left, it's still a pull, right? So you're still coming over this way. So one of two things happens. The only reason why a golf club ever comes from this way is because it's usually behind you, which means usually you're overturning your body and the golf club is behind you, and then you come over. And when you come over, you're gonna hit pulls or fades, etc. So what I would have you do is try to get the golf club more up a little bit, and then you would feel a little bit more under. Now, how would you do that without having to be, that in itself is like kind of a vague answer, right? So the easiest way that I would try to get you to feel it is for in balance, okay? Is stand on your right leg, and if you swing back and turn your body, you'll fall over, okay? So now when you swing, your hands and arms will swing up. And if you swing over this way, you'll fall off balance that way. So I'd have you do balance drills. The other one would be, obviously, is get yourself a little board, like so, and when you swing back, make sure that your weight is in your right leg fully, because if you twist your body, your weight will be back over on your left. As you can see, the board is down on my left, and then I'm gonna come over the top. So the pull and the cut's the same. Let's see, 2 best things for some compression. You're at 8 handicap, but always hit it a little shorter with my irons. Yep. So that's just releasing the angle like so from here. Usually if you're about an 8 handicap, you're probably more under, see? So sometimes when people drive the right pelvis under, that will release the shaft like so. And so what I'd have you do is stand on your left, and I'd have you put pressure and put your knee on top of your foot and keep it there. Ball position will be slightly forward because that will be more of a lead leg. And then just make sure that the hands cock back, and then feel like you throw the arm, okay? So it's gonna be hands and then arm. Now you would think that'd be opposite because you're saying you're releasing the angle. You're releasing the angle because it's the hands and the spine going under. So put pressure left, hands back, arm. Now look where my arms are. See, they're extended right here. Shafts forward, and through the ball it goes. Thank you. Congrats on the opportunity. You're going to do great on YouTube. Thank you very much. What's a good drill to keep the club head straight or in proper placement in the downswing? There's a couple different ones. The one that is probably one of my favorites is when you swing back, point the butt of the club at the golf ball. And that sets the hands to where they'll go over your shoulder. And then when you swing through, make the butt of the club point at the golf ball on the other side. Because that's basically teaching you wherever the club head points is your target line, guys, right? So if I do this, you'll see the club head or the butt of the club's pointing there. And if I go over here, you can see that it's pointing there. Again, it's showing me as a lefty, sorry. So, but you can see that if I do the same thing, it doesn't matter. It's still, whatever you do on one side, you'll do on the other, okay? So a lot of times, so if I do this and this, okay, and then I just bend over, you'll see that there is no up or down in the golf swing on a circle. And so that will get you to swing the golf club and release the club and have all kinds of like speed there, where that teaches you how that moves instead of trying to, I don't really want people placing the golf club in certain areas if they can. Thank you so much. Mike, hook left. Okay, so you're hooking it left. Okay, so usually it's gonna come from the grip. The right hand, 1,000% is going to be underneath the club. So when the right hand is, see my wrist bone is on top, now my hand can go over my shoulder. That's how my hand would look at the top of the golf swing. When my hand is here, and now my elbow will fold, and that's what it's gonna look like at the top of my golf swing, okay? So watch, hands here, club face here. So what is that gonna do? Club face is now, that's the cool position everybody's trying to teach now, the laid off bowed position, which is, in my opinion, a incorrect wrist bone position, and you have to make manipulations, okay? Doesn't mean that tour players can't, but that's not you. So from here, that golf club is gonna be coming down this way, you're gonna hit low left and hooks. That's usually the case. The only other case would be, the grip could be perfect, absolutely. Your golf club could be in the right place. And if you drove your leg and body laterally, the arms would be behind you here, and now the club would flip rapidly and you'd hit a hook that way. So then I would practice, if that's the case, you're underneath it too much, I'd have you stand on just your left leg quite a bit and try to swing that way. You're hitting the ball on the toe. Usually that's probably an incorrect left hand grip where the wrist bone bows a little bit and the club and the shaft comes inside. Or a couple different things, or I could be way out too far on my toes, and when I swing, my arm is trying to seek a balance and my body's trying to seek a balance to not fall over, and I'll come back this way. So a lot of the drills that I would teach people is not just the board, but then on the right leg or left leg only, to swing to where they learn the bottom of the swing arc and swing in balance. Because if you stand on one leg and swing back and either turn the body or twist or whatever, the tendency is to be off plane and fall over. Suggestions on lack of compression on a 5-iron. Well, that's, again, probably the same kind of answer. It doesn't really matter where the compression is, if it's a wedge, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I think that some people can hit driver and you hit up on a driver in a 3-wood and your weight is going this way, and the shaft can be in line here, and you can have more pressure on your right foot. And if you're doing that with a 5-iron, you got too much pressure on your right foot, the shaft will be more straight up and down or slightly backwards, and you won't have as much compression. So that's why I would tell people to get more on their left foot a little bit and try to practice on that left leg. Do the balance board I talked about before, where you can kind of get the feeling of the pressure on the left, go right, back left, and then you can press it that way. But anytime that you have a tendency to put pressure on the right foot too much, you'll dump the angle and you won't compress the ball. That's number one that I see. The other one is just incorrect swing plane thought, which is just turning the body first. So then the arms will go behind you, the weight goes to the left, pressure goes left, and now you're gonna lose all the angle that way. And you can get away with that dumb thing with a driver. See how I can hit up on it this way, but with an iron there'll be no compression. Yeah, John, really, it's the same. I would really, I'd have you practice putting the golf club up here in front of you And not trying, because when I tell people to do this drill, I'll see them turning their body, and you'll see that there's no speed, right? Where this can create lots of speed, and you can even hear it, right? And then practice that on the left, you know, and see how my body is just responding to that club head speed swinging. You're welcome, Ricardo. That's what I'm here for, buddy. And I appreciate all of you guys. Let you know, of course, and I'm available for the Zoom lessons, my membership site as well. You go to rkswingking.com. I'm really not making this like a big sales pitch. I'm really just, you know, because I have a lot of clients. I'm just trying to help you guys and give back. So I appreciate you guys. That's fine, is Liam Robson. Sure, that's okay, Pete. I'm fine with that. As long as you play good golf, I don't really care who teaches you and where it comes from. Can I show the left thumb rotating? Is it for the top, like Jack Nicklaus said? I'm not quite sure if he's talking about like he spins his hand. Yeah, so let me do I'm gonna try to left hand. I'm gonna try to do this with my right because it's equal. So since I'm swinging left-handed, apparently, is making sure that when you swing in this circle like that club and that shaft on your toe line and that thumb is up. And as you do that, then when the weight is shifting, now by the way, he's a compound pivot guy. His feet move like so, okay? So when he does that, he would roll his foot, which then the golf club would go behind him and then it would spin and release. So that he did that because he was swinging the pendulum of the golf club, right? And so, but he did it through his feet. He'll even talk about how even when he tightened his arms a little bit, but he kind of did little waggles like that, and he would just tighten and just put a little bit of pressure on the ground like that. And what that was just putting a little bit of pressure left by the right foot rolling, then the left foot would roll away, and then the right foot would roll through. He'd be a little under, and he would release, and that was his finish. Okay, so his hands and arms would spin, but it's by the foot rolling and the hands and arm being passive that makes that happen. That's how a double pendulum works. How can I help with finishing the swing? As soon as I hit the ball, I only follow through halfway to the top. Because you're hitting at it, okay? So I literally would have, this is one of my favorite drills for people that have too much tension, and I think it's great, is just take your fingers, just your second foul link of your right and second foul link of your left, and just your thumbs like so. Put the club down and just let it swing. And watch it go over your shoulder and over your shoulder. See, I'm not really doing anything here at all. And you can see I'm right on plane and I'm right on plane, okay? So get the feeling of that. Then you just slowly start putting your fingers to it and look how light your grip pressure is for you to swing this golf club. And you realize your answer was, I was squeezing the shit out of it. Should I focus on taking a divot? I'm a 6 and feel like I need to chop down to take a real divot. No, that's the same thing. It's Angelo. Thanks for the question. You're still on your back foot. If you're on your back foot, you're releasing the angle and you won't take much of a divot. Now, one of the best lead leg players was Tiger. And when he flushes it, he doesn't take much of a divot. And the reason is because his golf club is a pure circle, and the club straightens out right at the ball with the shaft ever so slightly forward, and then from here, it then releases on through. If you take more of a divot, then you'll have more pressure left, and you'll have the shaft lean more forward. If the shaft leans more forward, you're gonna take more of a divot. So if you were, and his is throw a ball. His hand is wind up and his arm goes to the target. He talks about it all the time. I don't feel things with my body. I feel everything through my hands, right? And he would talk about his dad would say he would finish low, high, or medium. Well, what is that? The arm. So if you don't want to take much divot and you still want to be great, you just push a little bit of pressure left, let the hand wind up. You can see my weight's right here on my left, and now my arm goes down the line. See how my arm, when I release right here, is right here and here. Now when I'm curing it, I won't take much of a divot either, okay? So that's not really the quite answer that you want, other than if you want to take a divot and you feel like you got to hit down on it, then you're probably too much under, and I would have you practice a little bit more keeping your weight on your left as you release your arm. Brand new golfer. Good job, man. What is best coaching points for swing path with takeaway for driver long irons? Yeah, so for one, as a brand new golfer, try not to ever say those words again, and don't where you start thinking about, you're already kind of analyzing on how to do it, right? So the biggest thing I would tell you is, just like I did a second ago, is the 2-finger drill. I do this for every beginner. Take 2 fingers like so, wrap it, like the other 6 away, and let the club swing, and you'll start to feel what a true swing feels like, of the swinging of the double pendulum of the golf club and how the body responds. I could not, tell you like as where I can feel my weight through all of this. So if I'm thinking about takeaway, now I'm gonna be like, okay, I gotta put it in a position, I gotta cock it in a position, I gotta twist my legs in a position, I gotta do all that. That's why I don't teach that P crap, P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've never believed in that. Golf is a game of motion, movement. That's why when I teach people, hey, swing like you walk, you're walking your feet in your rhythm. If you're trail leg, hey, throw a ball, you're feeling your weight go left to right. Take a little bucket of water or medicine ball and throw it. I'm not really telling you how, I'm giving you the movement patterns that does it. I'm not saying take your right elbow and arm to P2, 3, 4. I don't even know what they are. I've never studied that. I don't believe that at all. And that's a very analytical mind. And you could be really understanding that every single angle of the golf swing, and if the bicep is 105 degrees to 285 to 183, and this is 65, doesn't matter to me. This is a throwing position, and this is where the arm should be. I can feel that. I can feel the weight of the club from here and here, and now I can just play by feel. You play by feel. There's not one consistent golfer on the planet, not anymore. I think that was Mo Norman who passed away. And they are all adapting. It's all adapting. So you're adapting by feel. You play by feel. You score by feel. You don't score by positions and numbers. I would give that number one thing. Please don't go down that rabbit hole. You'll be down that thing for 20 or 30 years and coming back going, wow, Roger was right. How easy could it be just to feel the weight of the club swinging? Okay, so moving on. How about getting the ball to check on chip shots? Yes and no. It's still the same release. It's still the same kind of throw. Let me go back to that question. I don't want to miss some of these things. I really appreciate you guys asking all these questions. It's fun to answer. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. All right. So when you're hitting a chip shot and you want some speed to it, your weight has to be on your left a little bit, and you're going to have more hand and arm speed throwing action. So as you can see, you can't do this and create speed, turning the body and holding the angle and doing this. That's not ever really going to create the speed that you have. So you have to have that, like that kind of motion with the hand and the arm, see? So that's a big difference, right? So most people, I would have them stand on their left leg, and I put a ball in their hand, and I'd say, okay, I need you to just kind of feel like you toss the ball underhand to the target. And when you do that, if you want to throw it a little faster, you're not releasing your hand, your arm. So it's your hand going back, and it's your arm to the target, okay? And that's how you can start to create the feel of that with the weight of the club swinging. If you are a trail leg player and you find that, then you're going to be doing this all through your feet, rolling your feet and having the club swing. And I can still hit the ball and spin it like that. It's a complicated answer, I know, but basically proper technique. Oh, and a softball too. You had to pay for one of those like $5, Titleist balls. What does the lead wrist do at and after impact? Okay, great question. So all it does is line up with your left-handed arm. Your hand basically just cocks back up over your shoulder. So once I'm here and my weight is left, so if I'm a lead leg player, I'm already here into this position. Now I've talked about this at length in the beginning, where the shaft is on my toe line and the hand is here kind of facing, you're not all the way straight up but close. So from here, now the golf club will snap to where it lines up with the left arm. Now, here's where it gets fun. If I want to hit the ball high, my arm will continue on and I will not release the hand over as quick as possible. The quicker this golf club goes from here into extension, the faster the club head will be rotating and moving. You'll hit the ball further this way. You'll have maybe a bit more control if you go like that, like if you're tossing the ball long ways. So you'll have a difference. The answer would be is, what kind of shot are you hitting? Are you gonna release it fully? That's gonna be maximum speed. Like so. See how my hand's over my shoulder real quick? If I take it out a little bit, I've stopped my swing. Now it's not gonna go as far. It's gonna go lower here, right? So you've got an answer is the left hand does basically spins like this, and you can kind of see how the elbow and the hand just backhands. That's maximum speed. Nobody should ever question this if I'm right, okay? This is just do this and you're like, holy crap, that's fast. And then do this and that'll be slow, right? So the answer again is too complex, and but that's good. Get a good point, okay? You drive it about 280, that's good, buddy. Mostly hit the ball straight, and short game's pretty decent, but I rarely break 80. That means you're a crappy putter. Been shooting 80, 85, and not improving. Seriously, putting is the number one thing. And I've done a few videos on it. You know, I couldn't, there's so many different techniques and styles. Find something that you like. I've done a couple of videos where I've talked about how the pendulum moves, or how you can push it with the arm, or even you can roll your feet. But man, you're hitting the ball really well, so congratulations. You're a 13 handicap, you're already in the top 1% golfers of the world there, shooting 80, 85 consistently. So obviously we know that the putting has got to be the big deal for you, or hit your irons closer to make more putts. Wyatt, what does it mean to compress the ball? Dude, that's cool. So you're going to compress the ball. The shaft is going to line up with your arm. Your hand is slightly in front. So basically the club face is, this is just a wedge I have. So if I did this, the ball's here, I wouldn't compress it. And as the shaft leans forward momentarily through impact, the ball would compress and spin up the face and then release. Yeah, Jack, that's really a loaded question. So pointers on driver versus iron swing. I don't know if you're lead leg or trail leg or middle. And so let's just say if you're lead leg, then when you throw, I'm gonna throw up, my knee is gonna go from bent right here to vertical, meaning like that. See how my leg is going from bent to straight? So that's what causes the verticalness of the golf swing, and that's gonna cause it to go more up until you hit up on it. So longer drivers have more vertical. Iron swing is gonna be more level or down, and so your left leg is a little more bent, and you're a little bit more on your left-hand side, and so you're hitting down. So these are two totally different releases, and that also happens even if I'm on my trail leg over here, and I shift back over here, I'm still in this position to now, do I hit it up, middle, or down? So that's, again, it's too loaded. I hope that gave you some. Thank you, Angelo, I appreciate that. I'm a 25 handicap and struggle with my wooden driver. Yes, basically your golf club's not swinging if you're a 25 handicap. Your head is perfectly still, your left arm is straight, and you're just you swing it straight back like so. And so from here, you've got nothing to hit with, and you're gonna chop on average, or you're gonna become more advanced, and so your buddy's gonna tell you to turn, and you're gonna turn, and your weight's left, and you're back right and over the top. So I'd have you do a lot of one leg drills, left leg, right leg, get a little footboard here, like you can hear it sing. As you would swing it back, you'd feel your weight go to your right, and then back over to your left. Or if you're a lead leg player, you're gonna feel it go left, right, back, left. So that's totally different than having no movement. I think the number one thing most people get problems is too much grip pressure So again, rewatch this whole video because I talked about this in detail. And the tension in their hands and arms, and then are being dead still and just doing this. You know, there's no movement pattern, so you still have to have the club swinging. You're welcome. What causes topping the ball? That's easy again. Weight goes back to the right foot too much, releases the angle, and the golf club goes up. If you're hitting driver, what causes it is putting the ball too far up in your stance, and every single golf pro that I've heard, dead wrong on this, they'll tell you got to hit up on it. So what you'll do is you'll tilt your head back this way too much, and so now your golf club is too much from down to up, and you'll top the golf ball. You tend to sway. Yet, John, you need to do some balance drills and the 2-finger drill because there's a lot of tendencies that you have. So when you sway forward in your golf swing, again, equal and opposites, that means that you moved your head off the ball, and so now your head's going to go forward to counterbalance because your brain said, hey, I'm over here, I don't want to fall over, so I better do that. So swinging on one leg is one of my favorite drills for lots of things because that just teaches the weight of the club swinging and teaches you to stay centered, and then you get to feel which leg is dominant or not. Let's see, I'm right-handed, but left eye dominant, uncommon. No. After the 100,000 golfers I've taught, not uncommon, but somewhat. Any tips for what I can do to help my putting? I tend to aim right of target because of this and also pull short putts. Yep. So it's interesting. So because of that, the only way that you would ever be able to keep your left eye online is put weight on your left foot over top of your left knee, and that like that. And I would definitely just not have any field weight shift. I'd literally put it off your toe like so. Because since you're left eye dominant, your eyes want to travel the other way. So when you put it like right here, you'll see that you're right over top of the ball, and then you can make your stroke. I don't know if you've done that yet or not. The ball is too far forward in your stance. Yes, that is correct. If you're talking about topping the golf ball, I said the ball's too far. If that's what you're asking, yes, you'll top the golf ball is too far up in your stance. Let's see. You always chunk it and slice. Yep, main thing to focus on. And when I hit it well, I'm not even hitting half as far as most people. Yep, because you're just losing the angle. So what I mean by that is you're just doing that, right? So your weight is just going from your left foot to your right, and you're releasing the angle like so. Again, one of my favorite drills for people that do that, stand on just your left leg, or you can, a little bit advanced, put both feet together, and as you swing the golf club back, step forward, and then swing through. And you'll find if that feels comfortable to you, that's going to be more of a lead leg throw. You'll find that your weight is going that way, whereas you're turning your body, I gotta know that you're turning your body too early, so your weight is left. It's going to go back right, and you're going to chunk it and not hit it anywhere. It'd be like you trying to punch me going this way and this way, no bueno, compared to me going here and then there. Okay, big difference. How important is it to stay in posture? You don't really stay in posture. Okay, so I wish people had understood that. I think people try to stay too still. And so I'd really focus more on the golf club swinging and that your body just responding to it, okay? So if I'm standing here on one leg and I'm swinging back and forth, you can see that, well, you'd say I'd stay in posture, right? But when I swing, so if I'm standing here and I'm on my leg and I swing back here and I stop, now I'm gonna take my whole body away and look, did I stay the same? I started here and I went here. See, my spine's over here. Keep my head on center. See, I didn't say anything different. And then as I swing through, now I'm going to take my body, okay, and then bring it back. That's what I did on my follow through. So no, it doesn't stay the same place. I think that's a huge problem where people just stay perfectly still And yeah, I can't do that either, okay? Hey, that's great, John. I hope, Parker Johns, I hope I'm helping you with your golf game. Yeah, slicing your driver is the same. One is the correct grip, and then two is that you're turning your body so your weight is going behind you, and then it's going across this way. Either that or you're lifting up and going across this way. So I'd have you do a lot of right leg only, letting the golf club swing up over your shoulder, and then over your shoulder. Also, taking, this is one of the old school ones, okay, is setting up normal and then turning your body to face away from the target, and then so the ball's up here, and then swing, and so your hands and arms have to swing. If you turn your body, you really can't get back to it. It's going to feel really bad. And so then you'll start to feel your golf club and hands and arms swing around your body like so and hit soft little draws. Hey, Ben, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. How can you get under the ball better than chopping it and hitting it 29 yards past the flag? Okay, so that's first of all, you don't get under the ball, okay? So that's the number. Jack, sorry. I'm right-handed. I don't know why it's showing this view. So I'm sorry that people are listening to me right-handed. I guess just watch this video in a left-handed. I don't know. My team will be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. But anywho, I digress. I'm sorry. Go back to that question of chip shots, okay? So if you lean the shaft too far forward, you'll hit the ground like this, or your weight goes backwards and you'll hit it 29 yards over the green. So what I would have you do first is, the club is always in the middle of the body. Feel like you put your weight a little bit on your left foot and swing it back. And again, I talked about this golf club swinging. See where my grip end moves, okay? And as I swing through, that would be like me tossing a ball. My right hand winds up and my arm to the target. And that's just like how you would do a chip shot. I think too many people keep their wrist too stiff like so, and they're gonna chunk and their weight goes back to their right foot, like so. And I think if you get the feeling of that and then put the golf club in front of your body and get the feeling of that swinging sensation like so, that all of a sudden you're gonna be like, oh wow, look, I'm just swinging the club, and listen to it. See, it's just brushing the grass, see? To and fro, right? And I look about the same left or right-handed, by the way, I know, but just letting you know. All right, just a few more here. Let's see here. Hit my irons pretty good. You're gonna take a divot. Yeah, so your shaft just leaning backwards at impact. So just put your weight more on your left foot. Do you subscribe to the Mickelson hold and hinge method, or more like Dan Grieve and chipping with your chest and be more connected? You can mix it up a little bit. The connected move is gonna be more of a trail leg movement pattern and the pelvis. Mickelson leans the shaft significantly far forward, which I don't like. But what I do like, and he is dead on the money correct this way, is, especially when he's showing left-handed, is that he likes to put pressure on his front leg. So when he does, his hand hinges, and every single time you see him swing, his golf club is right on his toe line like that, which is what I talk about in the beginning. If you're a lead leg player, your golf club is here and here. And he's a much better short game player. I think what happens is when he tries to hit the ball further, his golf club has a tendency to go back wider and then hinges later. Whereas if he just hinged it where he does, that's why his iron game is so much better too than his driver, because his irons just kind of hinge right there. So when he hinges and then holds, that's kind of that's one style or one way. Me, I do a mixture. I hate to be labeled anything. Like, this is the Roger method, this is the Phil method, this is the Dan Grieve method. It's all bullshit. It's just how your hand releases and where your weight pressure is, right? Just because a guy says it doesn't mean it's his method. I mean, hell, it's physics, right? So if you put this club in the middle of the body, or just a teeny bit left, or what it looks like is on my right, but left, from here, and I let the club swing, then that will be a double pendulum, and I would come through square and release it. So if I release it, I'm hitting a different kind of shot. If I'm holding it a little bit, I'm gonna hit it lower. If I release it early, then I could really flip it up high. So that's all. Don't overthink that too much. Yeah, your head being still is more through pressure through the ground, not about just keeping your head perfectly still. I think people that keep their, if you wear glasses or you keep your head perfectly still, then you're gonna have zero weight transfer. See that? So my chin moves with my xiphoid process, which is with my pubis bone. And so when I swing back, you can clearly see, even if I'm on my lead leg, my chin is over my pubis bone. My trail leg, it's over my pubis bone. Middle, it's there. So you can clearly see xiphoid process, middle of your chest. See how that works? Now my weight's there. Now I'm here. Now I'm here. The back of the neck is the swing circle center, and it moves like this, right? Your chin. So the chin, the back of the neck moves, right? The back of the neck circle. This moves and rotates. If this stays perfectly still, you got no game, okay? You got no speed. And that's why people say keep your head still, and I'm like, no, they don't understand. You're welcome, you're welcome. And that's really a key thing. I think that people talk about keep the head perfectly still, keep the left arm straight, and turn the body. So here's what it's gonna look like. Whoop, right? And there's all my weight left, and then it's gonna throw me back right, and I'm gonna release the angle. Good, told keep the head still. All right, I have a problem hitting low pull hooks. That's gonna be your grip. You need to make sure that your hands can get on the golf club and can cock over your shoulder easily. And once that happens, then they can cock over your shoulder on the other side. So when you swing it back, it'll be on your shoulder here. And you swing through, it'll be on your shoulder here. When you hit a pull hook, it's nasty. You're coming over with your shoulder and your arm and your body. That means the golf club is behind you. And then you're releasing the angle, okay? So that's a no bueno. Thank you for the two. You're so welcome, man. I appreciate you, Curtis. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, that's good. Did that help you with the pull hook? Did you understand that? And then just go back and then watch this video. And I'm sorry, I'm in left-handed. I'm technically challenged. I think I was supposed to maybe turn the phone around and then film it this way, but then I can't see the answers. So then I have to, it's you know, who knows? Anyway. All right, so just a couple more questions from there. So the biggest thing would be is about, most people, it's about the grip, and just really feeling the weight of the club swinging is number one thing. Then practice that left leg, say, okay, I'm lead leg. Some people stand on their right leg and try to swing and they're just all over the place. So that would be, hey, you can't, then you should be more on your left leg. Yeah, when people talk about strong versus weak, is that a reference to lead or trail hand? So, yeah, it's a golf terminology. So if you said that the left hand it's basically incorrect or a form of movement that has to have compensations. So if your grip is strong, that means it's turned to the right. If you're left, this hand, this is too confusing if you're a left-handed golfer. I mean, if you're listening to me as if you're watching me as a left-handed golfer. But so the lead arm, that's too strong, that's too weak, and this is just right. Instead of thinking about how, like which one's right or wrong or weak or strong, just let your arms hang. Can you see this? My arms are right in front of my body, and I bring them out in front of me, and there's my grip. See, I didn't change the angle of my hands. So, because that's how the golf club can work over your shoulders, see. So instead of thinking about weak or strong, think about correct. Like, so from here, my hand can freely cock over my shoulder. Now, if I put my left hand, lead hand, way over, which is bad, I can't get my golf club over my shoulder, see that? And if I'm too over here, I still can't. And so there just has to be a perfect place for me to be able to do that easily, which is all that your hands do in the golf swing, over here and over here. I know, doesn't that make life seem so much simpler than all the crap they're teaching? I mean, if that's where the left hand's supposed to be, and then the right hand just complements that. So if my right hand is under the golf club, like the wrist bone's here, see, I can't get it in the right spot. No matter what I do, that means my right arm's gonna look like this at the top of my swing. See, so they complement each other. See, so just like that. David, you hit the ball wedges so high because you release the angle like this, instead of having your weight more on your lead foot, like so, and then swing through. So I'd have you just stand on your left leg, put the ball opposite your toe, Make sure your grip is swinging correctly and that you're releasing it right over your shoulder. If you hit the ball high, you're gonna do this, and you see that you can't get the golf club over your shoulder. I am trying to keep it simple. All right, and you guys are welcome. So, hey, I appreciate all of you guys. If you want one-on-one instruction, I'm here for Zoom lessons. You can go to RK Swing King and the membership site as well. And I'll even at the end of this, if you email me and you want it, I'll give you a little extra discount on the membership. It'll be a surprise for the people that made it all the way to the end of the video. You get like a little deal, all right? So as usual, as my sign off, everybody have a great day. I'm so looking forward to the new video that comes out, and I want the feedback on you guys on what you think about the new formatting and how it's gonna look, all right? Thanks, man. Everybody have a great day.